What's going on, dudes? Welcome back to the Vault. It's back with the reopening of cinemas earlier this year. My top five personal favorite films of the year of 2021. If you're new here, I don't add comic book films to this list, only because there are so many of them each year. And I just feel like it would be too easy to say, No Way Home was one of my favorite films of the year because I think that's a lot of people's favorite. So I try to find the ones throughout the year that no one's really, heard of, or ones that have kind of flown under the radar, or people that wouldn't really expect, for it to be my favorite, my top five favorite of the year. And No Way Home wasn't really in my top five. Maybe top 10, top 15, but definitely not top five. So let's just jump straight into it. At number five is Last Night in Soho. Now, this one wasn't even interestingly enough, wasn't even going to make it onto the top five at first. But I gave it a second viewing, and obviously when I would do screen checks at work, I'd obviously watch it and get more of an appreciation for it. But, I gave it a second viewing and fell in love with it. I'm not usually a fan of Edgar Wright, but I love the atmosphere and the themes of this film, that he created. Not to mention the absolutely stunning performances from the two female leads. This is definitely a film I could see myself watching again in the future, and a film I could see making it into my top 10. My top 10 changes a lot based on, films I've seen. At number four is The Fundamentals of Caring. Now, this film was released a few years ago, but this top five does incorporate, films I haven't seen, no matter what year they were released. I remember watching the film earlier this year, and it honestly stuck with me. It stuck with me throughout the rest of the year. It's such a heartfelt and truly funny movie. It's such a feel-good film that doesn't take itself too seriously, but also has some real emotional moments, that are perfectly placed and that really hit you, in the emotions. If it's still on Netflix, then I'd highly, highly recommend, giving it a watch, because it's definitely a film worth watching. Drum roll, please. The top three films 2021. At number three is The Last Duel. Anyone that watched my review for this film some months back know how much I absolutely love this film. The story is told in a great, organic, and historically accurate way, and what little action sequences there are brutal and truly medieval in their nature. I know a lot of people put off from seeing this film because of the kind of graphic sexual assault scenes, but honestly, give it a watch. Those scenes are done in such a compassionate, and serious way. There's nothing funny about them. So please give it a watch. It's a great film, and I'd hate for it to not be seen because of something like that. At number two is Ghostbusters Afterlife. This film was really interesting because I enjoyed it so much that it actually knocked The Last Duel off of the second spot to the third spot. After I'd seen obviously The Last Duel. And the number one film, which I'll not reveal yet, I was pretty set on what my top five for the year would be. But then I watched Ghostbusters in November, and I had to completely rearrange, the whole list, the whole top five. I enjoyed this film much more than I thought I initially would. It paces fantastically, and it's just all round an incredibly fun film to watch. Coming from someone who's never really been a huge fan of the Ghostbusters films, I am fully invested in this franchise now and any future films they may release. This film, like I said, just paces really, really lovely in a really organic way, and it just builds, and I was very afraid that the kids being the main focus would ruin the film, but honestly they don't. I was also a little bit worried that the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men would just be like a cute, marketing gimmick, but they were actually really funny in the film. So obviously if you haven't seen Ghostbusters, which you probably have, then honestly go watch it. It's a great 2021 film. And at the number one spot, no film has managed to knock it off. Nope, sorry, wait, hang on. That's not right. I am missing something definitely there. Bear me 1 second. Okay, that definitely didn't go as planned. The number one spot is Dune, basically. I had a whole paragraph here saying why I love Dune. I just really bloody love Dune. Since I saw it back in October. Since back in October, no film that I've seen since has managed to knock it off of the top spot. I absolutely adored this film. I know some people were a little put off because of how slow the world building was and how slow it was introducing characters. But I'm honestly so glad they took the time to introduce these characters properly, introduce this world properly. I'm so excited for the second installment. I haven't been this invested in a fantasy book adaptation since Lord of the Rings, honestly. So I'm very much looking forward to the second installment of Dune. So that definitely deserves its place at the number one spot. So there we have it, guys. I'm sorry about that. I was probably rambling a bit there, but my last paragraph completely disappeared. Don't know why. There we have it, guys. There's my top 5 films of 2021. At number 5 was Last Night in Soho. Number 4, Fundamentals of Caring. Number 3, The Last Duel. Number 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife. And number 1 spot was Dune. As always, obviously this list is just my personal opinion. Let me know which films you loved this year. And if you haven't seen any films in my list, then please do so. I would never dream of leading you guys wrong. I like to suggest films. I love when people enjoy films that I suggest, so I would never try and willingly suggest films that are rubbish. There we are, guys. I'm glad that the top 5, year of film in review is back. Probably need to work on that title. But as always, guys, if you like what I'm doing here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video with your friends, your pets, your families, your friendly neighbourhood. Top 5 lists. Till the next one, have a happy new year, and I'll see you really soon.